Hello and welcome to Balanced Existence. Today is day 30 out of 31 of this series that I am recording to get us recalibrated in our energy and on our highest timeline. So I'm recording it in December 2025, one reading per day, but of course this is a timeless message, so whenever you come across it, I trust that there is something here for you today. So as always, we're going to start with the Oracle and Astrology card to get the overarching themes of today's reading, and then we will get into the tarot. So for the Oracle card, we have dance, and it says, find your heart's rhythm, step lightly and swing with the melody. Close your eyes and let joy lead the way. I'm definitely picking up on this energy of surrender, as if you are dancing with life, not resisting or working against it. And, to dance, like when two partners are dancing, it requires this balance where you balance both your action as well as the trust in your partner's action. And in this metaphor, your partner is like the universe, like in your manifestations, you are always co-creating with the universe, right? So there's a delicate dance where you do take action in your dreams and your goals and the things you wish to manifest in life. But you also know when to surrender and let your partner lead, let the universe handle the how and the when, the divine timing of it all. And so with this dance analogy, I'm also picking up on this symbology where, this is how we show up in life. Yes, there is a synergy when you're actively manifesting, but also just on a day-to-day, what is your relationship with the universe? Are you arguing or complaining with the universe, or are you in this really smooth dance that feels good? And of course, that is your choice of how you show up. And, you always have the power to choose in every given moment, every day. And with the astrology card, we have the air element. So this fits so well because it's such a light energy. And today's reading is really reminding us to loosen the reins. And when you dance, you are taking action, but are we doing so in a flowing and surrendered way? Like, of course, there are things that we take active participation in life, just like a dance, but it's not uptight, it's not overly controlled, it's in a very flowing and heart-led way. So I'm going to channel into some tarot cards and see what else comes through. We have the Eight of Cups. Okay, wow. This came out yesterday as our first card as well. So there's definitely some reiteration that Spirit wants around this card. We're also getting the King of Pentacles. So definitely a strong message coming through to release that which is not fulfilling you. Attachments, connections that have heavy emotional energy that are burdening you, that are no longer serving you. Especially patterns that are being repeated, I'm getting for the collective. You may find yourself in negative emotional states due to repeating external circumstances or patterns. And this is all about recognizing when something is not serving you and knowing that it's time to release it. And so, of course, take this as it intuitively resonates. It could be relationships in your life, like friends, romantic, or family. It could also be any kind of environment, like your work, or really anything that is repeatedly causing you emotional distress or negative emotions. And of course, we've talked about this a lot on the channel, but when we do feel those negative emotions, we don't want to resist them. We don't wish that they weren't there. they are a gift. Every trigger and every emotional response and even emotional reaction is a gift, because it's providing us with valuable information about, how we wish to move forward and how we wish to feel instead. It's awakening us to, the feelings that we do want to feel. When you don't feel joy, you get closer to understanding which direction you need to go in order to feel joy. And that is an active choice that we take when we show up to decide that we're going to still move towards joy, even in the moments of not feeling joy. So with the Eight of Cups, this can often be a very difficult choice to make. And so we want to honor that. We want to honor the negative or challenging emotions themselves. And we also want to honor the heavy and sometimes difficult choice it is to move on from these things. And sometimes it's an obvious choice, and you know what you need to do, and you feel that momentum. And other times it can feel like the attachments are really heavy, and it's difficult to break off certain connections or certain environments. So honor exactly where you're at on your journey, because that's what's going to really ground us in the stability that the King of Pentacles is offering. The King of Pentacles understands the big picture and is such a leadership archetype where you are taking control over your journey. And my cat is meowing. I don't know if you heard that, but the King of Pentacles understands, like, okay, I'm on this journey and there may be some parts that are more difficult than others, but I'm committed and I'm a reliable source of choice, right? Like, I have the power of choice and I'm committed to this long-term success. And I know how to stay rooted even in the midst of difficult emotions. And that's what gives you freedom. It's like the structure and the stability that the King of Pentacles provides. It's like that mature perspective of, okay, moving forward, I feel really emotionally unstable, but these are the actions I'm going to take. This is what I want to feel instead. And when you have that grounded and mature approach, that structure is what provides you your freedom. And that's what really brings in that abundance for you. So that difficult emotions and all of these Eight of Cups lessons, also hearing like karmic lessons that you're learning, that they are not going to destabilize you in life. Like, you have the foundations and the structure and the groundedness of the King of Pentacles to move you forward freely. And we also have the Ace of Wands coming out. So this is you stepping into like the knowingness that you have the power of choice. You know how to make grounded and stable actions towards emotions that you wish to experience. And knowing that opens so many doors and gives you that passion and inspiration that keeps you, it's like to move forward. It's a new energetic beginning. It's a new spark of a creative passion. And so for many of us in the collective, we are being called to put more prioritization into our creative passions. And if there's any projects in your life that you've been meaning to get around to, and this could be anything from a simple hobby to a business project that, you'd like to do, even like for financial, income. And anything that puts you in this creative flow, you are learning to move into that energy effortlessly. But you do so by, setting time and taking the action needed. Again, creative flow is a union of the inner divine feminine and inner divine masculine. And of course, these are not related to gender. These are your internal energies that, you have the feminine, which is receptive and visualizes what it is that you want and follows their emotions and intuition. And then you have the masculine, which takes action and has the discipline to, keep going and provides that structure for the feminine. And both working together creates new art or realities for you, whatever it is that you're creating. So with the Ace of Wands, we're getting this new spark. So as you're stepping into this empowerment of balancing your emotions in a grounded way, you are also stepping into this excitement and motivation to create more in life. And you recognize that the art that you create fuels the reality that you create. For many of us, I'm hearing from Spirit, like when you start to create your art, and this could be anything, this doesn't have to be literal art like music or painting or pottery, this could be writing or really anything that gets you in touch with your creative flow. And so you're stepping into this exciting passion for your creative projects, and Spirit is saying that as you do this, the external reality that you wish to manifest clicks into place because you're in this magnetic energy when you're in your creative flow. So the Ace of Wands is showing us and reminding us how important it is to follow those sparks of inspiration and passion. We're also getting the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. Wow. Okay, yes, very powerful divine feminine energy, both water and earth. Again, this balancing of our emotions and our groundedness and stability, as well as we've now both pulled the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. So that's your divine feminine and divine masculine right there. So a lot of beautiful balancing happening here. So with the Queen of Cups, this is somebody who is fully aware of their emotions. Coming from the Eight of Cups to the Queen of Cups, it's like you have learned to regulate your emotions. And it doesn't mean you don't feel emotional reactions, or it doesn't even mean that you don't get triggered anymore. Of course, negative reactions and negative emotions and emotional reactions are part of the human experience. But when you are embodying that Queen of Cups energy, you're experiencing it with emotional intelligence and the ability to hold space for those emotions with love and compassion, and then to process your emotions and move forward following your intuition. And, with the air card being our overarching astrology element here, the air allows us to do this in a lighthearted way, and it keeps your emotions circulating so they don't get heavy and stagnant. So you're honoring your feelings, you're not suppressing them, and you're mastering the processing of your emotions. And with the Queen of Pentacles coming in, we have this stability and safety, and this could be financially, this could just be rooting in your body and anchoring in positive emotions. But this is also about, your nurturing of self and your self-care, all of the things that you do to give yourself that safe container to move more towards joy and freedom and abundance. So this is about you having learned to care for yourself. And then again, with the air sign, you're doing so in an open way, so that you can move towards freedom and you can remain open towards life. So, you're grounded, but you're also able to play with life and dance with life. And we also have the sun coming out, which is amazing. This is such bright energy. So through all of these efforts that you're doing, you're moving towards greater self-knowing, clarity about what your truths are, so that you can show up in an authentic way in everything you do and in everything you feel. And this is the vitality of life. This is joy. This is life force energy that's coming through with the sun card. And we have gotten this card multiple times in this series. So this is very much a resonating energy with the collective at this time. Like, you are moving towards joy, and with dance and air being our overarching themes, you truly are dancing with life in a lighthearted way, moving you towards joy. And you are so embodying love in such an abundant way that you feel so alive and you are so radiant, because you've reached such a beautiful balance within as well as in your connections with others. So you are living in your happiness in each moment without waiting for any type of external circumstances to align. You're able to show up in that beautiful happiness and passion because you've cultivated it from within. So as you're kind of stepping into this rhythm with yourself and with the universe, you have healed your emotions, you've built stability, you've nurtured yourself, and you've gotten clear on your desires, so that now you have the foundations to move and dance and play through life and express yourself. And I'm feeling like the inner child, especially with the sun card, your inner child is thriving at this time of your life. You feel so alive. You feel so aligned, and you are grounded and also light at the same time. It's that beautiful balance of both. So this is what I have for you today. I hope that something resonated, and I would love to hear from you in the comments. And thank you so much for being here and for listening. And I will see you back here tomorrow for day 31, which is our last day of this series. Bye.